Good morning, mayong buntag, magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Welcome to this public forum for the search for the next Dean of the College of Science and Mathematics. We shall begin our program with the Philippine National Anthem, to be followed by the invocation to be led by Professor Architect Nori Lloyd Pernis.
Bayang magiliw, pero sa silanganan, alam ng puso sa dibdib mo'y umay. Lupang hinirang, kuya ka ng magiliw, sa manlulupit kita masisingil, sa lahat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mo kamay, ay nilang ang tula at awit sa paglayang tinamahan. Ang isang ng watawat mo'y nagumpay na nagiging, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pagkakay pagkikilig. Parang araw ng maraming pagsip na lalangit sa likod. Aming ligaya naman may mamagin at namatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Let us pray. Father, you are the source of life and the source of purpose. We thank you for extending our lives today, Lord. We ask that you give us wisdom and the joy and the purpose, Lord God, of striving every day. Give our hearts the excellence and the sense of hope, Lord God, that we need every day. May you bless this activity and may you bless this with your presence. Thank you for everyone who is here. We give you all the glory and honor in your name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Nori. Once again, I welcome everyone to this public forum. Aside from the Zoom platform, we are also streaming live on YouTube. I am Professor Genevieve Quintero, Chair of the Search Committee, and your host and facilitator for today's program. First, may I introduce to you the members of the Search Committee. We have Professor Nori Lloyd Pernes, the Junior Faculty Representative. We have Dr. Bricio M. Merced Jr., the Reps Sector Representative. Engineer Cesar Estocado, the Administration Sector Representative. Ms. Olive Ann Matalam, the Students Representative. Professor Joselito Florendo, the UP President's Representative. And Christine Darl Tizon, our Secretariat. Today is the highlight of the search process for the next Dean of the CSM. I have to say it has been challenging, no, for both the search committee and the CSM constituents. After 3 extensions of the call for nominations, a nominee has finally been found and has finally accepted the challenge and the call. Now, the minimum qualifications for deanship include the following. First, commitment to academic freedom and the values and ideals of the university, distinction or outstanding academic credentials in the nominee's chosen field of expertise, which should be along the lines of the college's disciplines or fields. He or she should be a Filipino citizen, should possess leadership qualities and administrative or managerial capability. He or she must be willing to serve and must consider resource generation an important function of the position. Now, as stipulated in the policies and guidelines in the selection of deans, the deanship is among the most crucial academic positions in the university. The dean is principally the college's chief academic leader whose responsibilities include not only clarifying the mission of the university within and outside the college, but also enhancing the academic reputation and visibility of the disciplines and fields in his or her college. The dean's most important legacies include the quality of the college's faculty members, the quality of the college's research and other achievements, and the quality of the students and graduates. Among his or her other crucial tasks are keeping in touch with the college alumni and doing his or her share in building up and maintaining endowments to support faculty initiatives. He or she, too, must manage the administrative affairs of the college, including pressing for capital project funding and bigger budgetary allocations for operations. The public forum today is a venue for the nominee to present his vision, mission, and goals for the college, as well as his plans and programs for the next 3 or more years. This is also an opportunity for the UP Mindanao and CSM constituents and our internal and external stakeholders to interact with, to ask questions, and to share their comments about the nominees' presentations. Let me now introduce to you the sole nominee for the next dean of the College of Science and Mathematics. He is a faculty of the CSM and currently holds the rank of Professor 8. As faculty, his field of specialization includes the following: reef resiliency, reef fish biodiversity, reef fisheries, coastal resource management, and impact of perturbations on reefs. Among the important awards he received are the Professorial Chair Award for Teaching and Research, the 1UP Professorial Award in Marine Science for Outstanding Research and Public Service, Best Paper Award for the published paper in marine fisheries categories, entitled The Fisheries Potential of the Kalayaan Island Group, South China Sea, and Best R&D Paper Award in Fisheries and Marine Science, Midstream, Downstream, and the Outstanding Book Award for the book entitled Atlas of the Philippine Corals. He has also published extensively in ISI and Scopus journals. He has handled and continues to handle different administrative positions in UP Mindanao. He was director of the Office of Research. He is actually the current director of the Office of Research of UP Mindanao. He was director of the Office of Extension and Community Service, and he was also the department chair of the Biological Sciences and Environmental Studies of the CSM. So, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Professor Cleto L. Nanyola Jr. Sir?
Hello, good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
So can I share my PDF file for the vision and mission? Okay, once again, good morning, everyone. So this is my vision and mission statements. And then it's just in a very short vision and mission. So I'll read to you my vision. So the College of the Science and Mathematics sets a standard for academic programs supported by research activities that are responsive to the needs of the many as a way for the department to move forward at the status of an institution. So I'll just explain this further. So we are all aware that the CSM has been conducting so many research, and we have been considered as research institution. But for my vision, I just wanted to make this a formal declaration. At the same time, this will serve during my term as the vision of the college, so that the faculty will be reminded that we are a research university or a research college. So that is being highly encouraged, and having a research institute, then everything goes with it, like additional funding, staff, etc. So to achieve that, one of the mission is this: to engage faculty and staff, the students and stakeholders in developing graduate and undergraduate academic programs and courses that enrich the lifelong learning. So as you may know that this year is the sunset review for all the academic programs in the college. Then we wanted to improve that so that we can be so versatile in terms of the offline and online research mode of learning, or via Zoom or physically. And then also in terms of the courses development, I highly encourage that the college will develop courses which is a conglomerate of the different departments. So the college would have a very unique courses for the college alone. And this can be taken by different students in the CU. Then provide an avenue for faculty and stakeholders to conduct equitable and collaborative research that forges a culture of mutual support from local and international communities. Now, the college has been doing this. For example, in my project, we are collaborating with the other HCIs in the region, particularly those that are offering, for myself, those that are offering BS or undergraduate marine fisheries or marine biology program. So it just so happened that I'm a member of the Committee on Marine Science under the CHED program. So through my project, we are collaborating with those HCI around Mindanao, all the way down to Tawi-Tawi and up north with the Northeastern Mindanao State University, formerly the Surigao del Sur State University, and all the rest in those areas, including the Jose Rizal Memorial State University. So, and then this collaborative research actually have that potential for linking us with internationally. I got involved in this particular organization managed by an institution in Japan, wherein we meet regularly for the different universities in Southeast Asia, and looking at the what they call this particular mandate in relation to the management of the marine coastal areas in Southeast Asia. So we have this very large potential. We're actually doing this. It's mainly because those MOVA that we interact with different HCIs in the country. And then ensure administrative efficiency through promotion of academic and non-academic personnel welfare in conducive working conditions. So basically, we are all aware that we have some problems in relation to the process flow of documents, and then we'll try to improve that. So to help the what called the administrative matter paperwork in relation to those undertakings, but not only limited to academic, but including the non-academic personnel. It also involved this particular program in relation to advanced learning for non-academic personnel, so they can have a better support for the administration and for their leaders. And then eventually the college is the forefront of taking steps towards being in harmony with the environment within and beyond the university. So the College of Science and Mathematics is actually producing a lot of what they call this waste material. And we wanted to improve that to have a repository of biological, chemical, and other waste so that we will start with a green revolution. We are already actually doing that, but we did have to have this physical setup in relation to the disposal of waste, particularly the chemical waste that because we all aware of that it can go to our drinking water. So that's basically my vision and mission statement. And I think there's yeah, that's the last one. Then I encourage everyone to ask questions in relation to this vision and mission. How can the college move forward, as mentioned by Ma'am Jen, that the dean's position has a very big role in relation to the university's program and its what they call that reputation outside the CU. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much, Sir Ting. At this point, we shall have the open forum. You may raise your hand to be recognized. You also have the option to introduce yourselves or not, no, before asking a question or raising a comment for Sir Ting to respond to. Or you can also type your question or comment on the chat box. So I think we shall do this alternately, which means that we can call a raised hand from in the room, and then we read a question from the chat room and so on and so forth. And we will endeavor to accommodate as many questions or comments as we can before we end the forum at 11 o'clock. Okay, so let's start. Anybody who would like to raise the first question? Yes, Mike. I think Mike Gatella is raising his hand. Go ahead, Mike. Mike, are you here? So anyway, while Mike is
Hello?
preparing, yes, there you are.
Hello.
Yes, Mike, go ahead.
Clear na po ba?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Hi, okay. Good morning, Ma'am Jen. Good morning, Sir Ting.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My question is, Sir Ting, you are as a former OX director and the current OR director, you have been part of the technical working group that work for the partnership and concretization of the partnership of UP and the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region and the Ministry of Basic Higher and Technical Education, which was concluded by an MOU, and there are already several activities that are in place. Now, if you will be elected as a dean of the College of Science and Mathematics, to me, there are opportunities that will be that we are seeing through if you will be elected. But on your part, how do you see this one? How do you connect this? Your part as member of the TWG and as the dean of the college in terms of engaging the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region?
Thank you, Bert, for that question. Actually, I will have more, what they call that in short of influence, having if I'm being the dean. for that particular engagement that we have committed to the Bangsamoro Junior Scientist Program. As you may know, if the others are not familiar with this, so we have the CU, the system, UP system has moved with the BARM. And then one of the programs that we already started is the development of their Bangsamoro Junior Scientists for their high school. So it is just like what they call this, parang Philippine science, something like that. But they have a different approach wherein they will engage all high school, senior high school in this particular endeavor. And then we have started already for the training of the faculty. And then it is also an opportunity because we can encourage the senior high school graduate to take UPCAT and then be able to apply in our CU. So that's one, so that we can help our neighbor. And then in relation to my commitment on that, because I'm the part of the technical working group, then I'm still committed in that particular endeavor because that is also an activity of the CU. I just have really to find time in relation to that because of the so many activities that's going to happen, particularly in the first year of my engagement, hopefully in this as Dean of the College of Science and Math. And then furthermore, I will make use of this position to influence other stakeholders to be able to support this particular program. As mentioned by Ma'am Jen, I was actually overwhelmed when she mentioned all of the duties and responsibilities of the dean. Bigat pala nito. So, but we really have to take all of these opportunities that bestowed upon us so that we can help our Mindanao in particular for the development of scientists, future scientists in Mindanao. So thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Sir Ting. Let me read one of the questions from the chat room, from an anonymous attendee. So the question is, CSM has poor infrastructure. Any plans on it?
Now, hello. Okay, thank you for that question. Now, the CSM actually has already an architectural plan that's approved, design rather, for the new building of the CSM. And this has been underwent rigorous consultations from the former dean. And it was just very recently that finally this plan was make it an official. Now, the next problem would be the building or itatayo itong physical structure. So one of the strategies there is really we have to lobby with our congressmen, with the system to be able to get funds for this building. I'm not so sure the amount, but it's going to be very big. And with the design, I think we can get kahit na initial phase lang for the structure so that ang sikip-sikip na actually ngayon ng CSM. It's mainly because of the so many activities. Yung research assistants pa lang na mga personnel ay occupied most of the rooms in the area, including the what they call this particular supposed to be the dorm, occupied by these research activities. But yes, it is really a challenging task to get funds, but we will I will try to do my best to have this initial phase of this particular building, hopefully within my term. So yun yung plan for the CSM. But aside from that, just like to note that we have also an approved money for the research and development extension building. Unfortunately, up to now, wala pa talagang physical or presence man lang ng kahit na pag-dig or ng groundbreaking. But we already have money for that. And that money is no longer enough because that was so many years back. So we really also to look for funds to be able to finish this particular building so that we can really support a better produce rather research outputs based on these physical structures. Kasi kailangan din natin tingnan yung welfare ng all of the staff in CSM, particularly during this on and off na pandemic. So, kailangan to maintain social distancing, etc. and so on. So, meron na yung mga plans. So, ang kailangan na lang talaga is for the CSM building to look for funds. And then the other one is to push for may problema kasi sa mga settlers. Yun yung pinaka-isang issue. But yun, para may tayo na yung RDE building because it really decongest CSM. So para lahat ng research activities mangyayari na doon sa RDE building rather than mag-squat within the CSM na alam man natin na it's an old structure and kailangan talaga siyang ma-decongest kasi baka magkakaroon ng mga power problems. So thank you for that particular question.
Thank you, Sir Ting. I don't see any raised hand from the room, but we have a series of questions from the chat. Here's another question, Sir Ting. What are your specific plans to raise funds for the CSM and enhance its limited facilities?
Una ay yung facilities, I have mentioned this before. So really a struggle to manliligaw tayo sa mga congressman natin para matulungan tayo. Pwede naman kasing gumawa ng bill under their sponsor to create this particular structure. And ibang CUs like Diliman are actually using this bill for, like for example, yung nilatag nila lately is yung build for the funding support for the NISMED. So if we can develop actually this, an example is the Bangsamoro, to be able that UP Mindanao can really support the Bangsamoro program, junior scientist program, then we can have, although this is for the entire university, but is that way we can ask our brothers in the BARM region to sponsor a particular bill in support of that. And since this is a junior scientist program, so most of the greater part of the activity will be under the College of Science and Math. So that's one way of generating funds. And then for the past so many years, actually, the college are getting funds from the admin overhead based from the project. So that is one of the vision that I have na kailangan magiging known talaga tayo or stipulate that we are really a research university. In that way, the UP system can support us financially. Then aside from that is to encourage more, actually, well encouraged naman yung mga faculty ng CSM to generate funds through projects and programs. Kasi ito yung pinaka mabilis. We've been doing this for quite some time right now, but these are the actually the sources of the equipment of the CSM through projects. So kailangan lang talagang magawa ay maayos yung mga protocols in relation to the maintenance of this particular equipment and laboratories para ma-continue itong ating external sources of fund. Kasi through the projects, ang dami talagang actually natutulungan na estudyante in relation to their thesis. So that is why in the vision is I just wanted to make this an official to be known that we are a research college. Nangyayari naman yon, pero yun talaga is ipakita talaga, may kita na official document that we are a research college, and through that, ang daming possible funding support in relation to programs and activities ng CSM through the project or program support from funded externally. So yun po yung isang ipaplano. So that is also the reason why that in one of the activities is really to develop a program or a degree. We are actually doing this. Ang Department of Math and Physics and Computer Science have this data science program. So kailangan natin to mag-push through talaga kasi ito na yung mga encouragement or tawag nito, para bang a way to get more funds kasi kung hingi tayo ng funds from the system, ang lagi nila tinatanong ay yung number of students. So if we can have more number of students and then we can ask more funds, so that's one. And then aside from that, I mentioned already yung sa Bangsamoro program, as well as the encouraging faculty and staff to develop research projects and programs for external funding. So marami actually ways na pwedeng gawin, but ginagawa na ito actually ng College of Science and Math. So we just need to provide more support and encouragement for them para yun, marami kasing incentive din yung being have this particular projects or programs funded externally. So the College of Science and Math people are aware of that. Kaya yon, parang nagiging norm na dito sa college na hindi naman magpasikatan, but it's one way of multiplying yourself, because you have these research assistants, senior assistants that can help you in your plans as a faculty of this university. So yun po yung mga mahirap actually, pero there are ways to do it, and the CSM has been doing it. Thank you.
Okay. Sir Ting, since you mentioned the RDE building a while ago, here's a question from an anonymous attendee. Do you see the construction of the CSM RDE building during your term?
Within the 3 years? I think so, yes. Oh, kasi nandun na yun sa may dulong Well, actually, ganito nangyari yan. Yung RDB building, actually, I was the one who proposed that way back in 2017. Take note, 2017, it's 5 years na ago. And during that time kasi, si Pascual pa din, I was then the RDE chair of the college. And that it was so happened, I was invited in this particular meeting. And then, ano ba daw ang kailangan? So, sinabi ko, sir, kailangan ng College of Science ng building, ng RDE building. Kasi nga, at that time, dami na ring projects ng CSM at walang mapapaglagyan ng mga equipment. Okay, so you make a proposal. So, ginawa natin yung proposal. Initially, ang sinuggest na in phases, so 20 million daw muna. Then eventually, pagdating na sa taas, ginawa na nilang 80 million. So, and that yun, na-approve yung 80 million way back in 2017 and we haven't, well, part of the money was already utilized based on the previous, engagement with the contractor, etc. and so on. So right now, I think it's going to be built by the DPWH. So I think meron na lang inaantay para maumpisa na to kasi nga ano pa to? Ito sigurado na kasi may pera, it's just lang at nagiging intact yung pera kasi hindi naman buong-buo but as mentioned nabawasan na pero malaki pa rin yung natitira. I think something like 70 plus. Kasi dilipat yon sa, I forgot that institution by the government. So ilipat doon para hindi magbalik sa treasury once na hindi mo magamit. So kaya nandun pa rin yung pera. So I hope na nandun pa rin yung pera because it's more than 5 years na.
Okay,
So,
sir.
so hopefully may tayo yung RDA maumpisan within this 2023. Thank you very much for that question.
Okay. So from Professor Vladi Kobayashi, Sir Ting, how would you attract international funding?
Thank you for that question, Sir Vlad. Now, actually, in a year ago or more than a year ago, we tried doing for an external funding project. So together, this proposal was together with from the College of Science and Math as well as from the School of Management. So we developed this particular proposal, and then we were able to submit that, but it just so happened that at that time, we failed to indicate that the proposal must have these international collaborations. So that is the reason why I mentioned earlier that we really have to engage ourselves with our neighboring Southeast Asian nations like Malaysia, Indonesia, what else? Yung mga sa Southeast Asia, para naman magkaroon tayo ng attraction kasi lahat ng international funding ay they will not simply give it to one country but they want yun nga nag-uusap yung mga regions. So we can do that, but I'm limited to my expertise on the marine science. But since most of the faculty of the college has already been engaged in the various institutions, not only within the Southeast Asia, but abroad. And then through that, we can actually develop programs funded externally. Kasi nga, itong mga external funding ay malalaki ito, but ang kailangan lang talagang gawin ay to develop this particular proposal. Since we have that, we are able to do that in the past, then I think it will not be very difficult for the college to target particular funding agency na and then with the collaborations, with the collaborators of our faculty with other Asian or Europe or US na mga o sa countries. So makaya natin to. Kailangan lang siguro maggawa ng isang program ng call for this particular and then provide them with the staff para yun yung gagawa ng mga nitty-gritty things o mag-document and then develop this particular proposal. So kailangan lang talaga natin magkaroon ng break. Pero I think it can be done. Kayang-kaya talaga ito. It's just we need to be aggressive on this particular aspect ng paggawa ng proposal. Provide lang ng isang maayos na way that they can meet regularly to develop this proposal. Kasi talented naman yung mga faculty ng College of Science Math. Hindi naman ng College of Science Math. Lahat naman ng faculty within the university. So yan po, isa sa mga strategies that we really need to have in particular kasi malaki din yung advantage na some of our faculty were able to finish their degrees abroad. So isa din yon na magkakaroon ng mga collaborations. So doon yun mag-i-start up kasi yung international institutions naman, kailangan talaga nila mag-put ng trust to someone to develop this program. And then as humans, kailangan talaga yung gano'n na, kilala ko to, so hindi siya mag-fail. Kaya niya tawag nito call this, gagawin yung particular proposal, yung kanyang in relation to its ability to do that proposal or tiwala doon sa katunggalin niya or doon sa iba-ibang areas. Siyempre yung ating strategy. Sorry, masyadong mahaba yung discussion kasi yun nga, we've been doing this, kailangan talaga ng aggressively, and then the college will have to provide a venue for that. Thank you.
Okay. Another question from another anonymous attendee. Let me quote. Thank you for your presentation of your vision and mission for CSM, Sir Ting. Regarding the undergraduate degree offering of CSM, we noticed a sudden decrease in the number of new freshman students this academic year 2022-2023. If you will be the future dean of CSM, what are your plans to increase our freshman students and to avoid current students from moving out of the college, to shiftees and transferees to other colleges, CUs, or universities?
Okay, thank you for that question. So as I mentioned earlier, itong sa Bangsamoro Junior Societies, it's one way of attracting students from our neighboring provinces. Kasi naman, mas madali mag-attract ng students from Mindanao kaysa naman from their far away, like in Visayas and Mindanao, particularly because of this pandemic. So yung mga parents din ay hesitant na ipalayo o like need to travel by plane, etc. yung kanilang mga anak to study in the Visayas and Mindanao. As mentioned kanina sa research, ito lang talaga yung ating way to attract the students by more than 20 years pa lang ang UP Mindanao. Then I've noticed that nagsisimula na tayong makilala. Ang dami na nating graduates, particularly on the bio side lang kailangan kong ma-share na nandito na sa Mindanao at medyo maingay na rin sila in relation to this particular na kailangan nila mag-enroll sa UP Mindanao. So kailangan lang talaga nating ng campaign and encourage them. And meron talagang difficulty dito kasi nga within this time of the pandemic. Then meron din akong way before pa nakausap ng mga estudyante. They are talented students. So di ko lang sabihin ko ano yung school. So tinanong ko sa kanila, magagaling naman, kaya ba't hindi kaya nag-enroll sa UP Mindanao? Ang sagot sa akin, sir, dito sa eskwelahan namin, sigurado kami mag-graduate in 4 years. Sir, sa UP Mindanao, hindi. So, in short, nagkakaroon din ng parang challenges sa mga parents kasi nga kung hindi ka makagraduate within 4 years, lalaki yung expenses ng mga bata at hindi sila makakatulong. But I think with the status of the CU as a government institution, so libre na yung tuition and so on, at maliit lang naman talaga ang cost of living dito sa campus in Mintal, then makaka-encourage talaga tayo. That is the reason why na I want also to get involved in this particular campaign that Mike Gatella is initiating in recruiting students. At yung isa na nga is yung sa Bangsamoro Junior Scientist. Kailangan kasi talaga na matulungan sila to be able for them to pass the UPCAT. Yun kasi yung difficulty. Yun yung disadvantage. And then, kailangan din ma-increase yung visibility ng UP Mindanao in relation to yun, mga activities na ginagawa, which is ginagawa na ngayon ng OR, na para talagang mag-campaign or talaga bang mag-advertise ka talaga ng para bang meron kang product, shampoo ba or something. You really need to advertise it. Ang kagandahan lang ngayon because of the technology, so pwede na through the YouTube, etc. and so on. So yun yung isang kailangan natin na gawin. This is not only for the College of Science but for all the colleges within the CU na kailangan talaga mag-move forward lahat. So kailangan tayo magtulungan for us to campaign for higher enrollees. In relation to dan sa mga umaalis, medyo mahirap talaga siyang i-implement na hindi sila pwedeng umalis kasi nga para naman din natin silang yung kanilang freedom. So, yun. Kung ikaw din na magiging estudyante, hindi ka makalipat. So, parang ang hirap din naman. Pero, ginagawa naman ng system ang way that hindi din ganoon kabilis na mawala yung estudyante. So, kailangan talaga siyang pahirapan. Pero, meron kasing in-implement lately, kwento nga ni Ma'am Karen na since nagiging system-wide yung tawag nito, pag-evaluate ng mga students kung saan CU sila. So, ang nangyayari, naaagawan tayo ng estudyante. Kasi since ang system ang nakakaalam, ang nangyayari ay pag nagkaroon ng slack and other courses in the big campuses, so yun, nakikita ng mga estudyante natin na naka-enroll na. Kaya yun, naglilipatan sila doon. Kasi nga, itong mandate ng quota na sinet for the different CUs ng system. So, ina-address yan ngayon ating CU through the registrar's office na ang point ka pa ni Ma'am Karen is better pa daw noon na aggressively tayong nagka-campaign rather than as a system-wide kasi nga yun, nakikita lahat ng estudyante and then yun nga, since qualified sila sa exam, sa cut-off, then yun, lumilipat sa, siyempre naman, napaka-attractive ng other campuses kaya sa atin. Kaya nga, yun, gagawa talaga tayo ng advertisement ba o campaign na para mas ma-encourage sila. And then we have lots of, nandun tayo sa status na pwedeng-pwede natin yung gawin kasi nga may output naman ang College of Science and Math or the CU itself in relation to this particular attraction to our students. So kailangan lang talaga na mag-campaign aggressively in relation to this. And then one way of doing that is basically exposing ourselves ng faculty ng CU, hindi ng CSM, sa different, yung magtutur, mag-join doon sa mga to take the UPCAT kasi better yon na, for example, yung isang field of expert nandoon mismo sa campaign. So kung ikaw ay isang estudyante sa high school, so ma-attract ka sa kanyang, yung kanyang specialization. So, and then, mangyari niyan, ay, gusto kong mag-enroll dito kasi, magaling tong yan, gano'n. So, we really, nasa lahat yun nasa atin lahat, hindi lang yung unit na nagka-campaign, but we really have to take our part para maka-encourage ng enrollees sa ating CU. So we really need to yun, campaign by ourselves or to get involved in this particular undertaking para naman makahinayat tayo, makaakit tayo. Kaya yun na yung isa sa mga ways na inumpisa natin, which is the Bangsamoro Junior Scientist Program, and right now magkakaroon na ng physical na campaign for katulad ng ginagawa natin in the past before the pandemic. So I highly encourage yung mga faculty of the CU na hindi na lang sa CSM to join that particular, ano ba tawag nila dyan, campaign para makaka-encourage tayo ng mga students to enroll in UP Mindanao. So ipakita natin yung facilities natin, yung ating output, and then yung lahat ng mga yun. Kaya kailangan talaga tayo mag-develop ng mga series of parang ads in relation to our degree programs. So thank you.
Okay, so here's another question, sir. Are there plans on initiating green energy measures, such as the use of solar panels, better ventilation, and other sustainable means of energy generation and utilization within the current CSM building to help with the power demand and reduce fluctuation problems?
Yun na nga yung isa sa mga reasons that I mentioned earlier, that we really need to decongest CSM. It's mainly because of this laboratory equipment that we obtained from our research projects. And then, since sensitive equipment ito, so kailangan lahat sila ay naka-air conditioning unit. So yun yung problema kaya nagkakaroon ng power fluctuation sa college o sa building, sa old building ng CSM. So going back to the previous question, so yun na nga yung isa, which is ito more promising kasi may pera naman talaga itong RDE. So once may tayo yung RDE, siguro kumumpisa this year, matatapos yun a year after or so. And then bago mag-end ang term ko ng 3 years ay ma-decongest na yung CSM. So mililipat na yung design kasi talaga ng RDE, it's a laboratory. Kaya yung power requirement noon ay naka-adjust na lahat, kinumpute na lahat yung power requirement per room or per lab room para magkaroon ng hindi na magkaroon ng power fluctuations. Yun naman kasi yung problema because the CSM is an old building. Dinatnan natin yan dito nung lumipat nung itinayo ang UP Mindanao. Yung pinaka-core ng CSM na tayo na yan. So dinagdagan lang ng left wing and right wing na structure. So ginaya na lang din yung old design para naman di weird tingnan. But at that time, siguro mga bago pa nagkaroon talaga ng ng mga research projects ang college, ay wala namang problema sa power. But that power cables, yung capacity niya, na-increase na yan, na-improve na yan under the money ng CHED. So naiayos na yan siya. But then again, as mentioned, lumalaki kasi nga dumadami yung ating project at dumadami yung ating equipment. So yun, kaya balik pa rin sa dating problema. So hopefully kailangan talagang may tayo na yung RDA, but at the same time, to avoid yung masisira, kailangan natin i-account ulit, mag-inventory ulit, ano yung mga different equipment, and then the frequency of use. So para magkaroon ng sharing ng power. So pag ganito gagamit itong project na to, so dapat hindi magsabay sa ganito ring project kasi nga sila yung malalaking malaking power requirement. So yun. So what I mean is that maayos naman yon agad-agad by doing this inventory. But in the future, ibig sabihin, hindi madidihado yung ibang project. So, pag may tayo na yung ating RD building. So, yun yung isa sa mga solutions to that. Yung pinaka-urgent solution is mag-accounting talaga ng lahat ng mga ginagamit na equipment, laboratory equipment, and yung kanilang frequency of use. Ang dami kasi mga ovens sa CSM, ang daming ovens, ang daming freezers, and then yun, mga matataas na power requirement ang kailanganin. And then, actually, may demand na rin ng power because of this mga malalaking computer equipment. So, yun ang nangyayari sa CSM. Pero to avoid that, as I mentioned, yun, kailangan magkaroon ng inventory and then equitable sharing of power supply. Or kailangan talaga ipa-increase ang yung what shall I call it, transformer in that particular area. Pero madugot din talaga yun na undertaking. But there are ways for us to do this immediately. Okay, thank you.
Okay, next question, sir. What one or two accomplishments for, wait lang nga, wala. So what one or two accomplishments for the college do you intend to achieve in your first term, in your first 3 years as CSM Dean? One or two accomplishments daw, sir.
Now, as I mentioned in my vision, hindi na nga vision to kasi kailangan natin i-achieve. So, yun, I want that the College of Sciences must be known as a research college in Mindanao and for the entire Philippines. Then, for us to be able to do that, medyo mahirap ata pala to kasi ang kailangan dito, ang department at dapat nasa level ng institutions. So, I will track my statement. Pwede lang namin sabihin na, hindi pala, revise my statement. Pwede lang natin sabihin na magiging known siya as a research college, but we really need to improve the status of the department from the department to the institution level. So the only way to do that is to increase the number of students as well as in terms of the research projects and publications. Now, going back to the question, ano yung siguro I can na may tayo yung RD building. So I have 3 years to do that. So kahit na in the 3rd year ay magkaroon ng maghukay na talaga doon sa site. That's one. And then the second one is yung mapaiayos yung, as I mentioned, yung in terms of the health and wellness ng college. So ibig sabihin nun ay we'll now have proper disposal of the chemical and biological waste, including the yung human waste, para naman magsimula as a science college ay dapat maayos din yung mga waste disposal. I think yun yung dalawang plans na kailangan talagang magawa agad kasi dumadami na yung chemical and biological waste ng college. And it has to have a proper disposal kasi kung hindi rin maingat ng college ang status niya from one level to the next kasi nga isa ito sa mga requirements ng kung anumang body ang mag-evaluate na merong maayos na biological and chemical waste disposal. So yun yung pag-uumpisahan na kaagad kasi nandun yan sa isa sa mga aking nilista. And then one more is ito talaga dapat makaya ito kasi nga ano lang to within our yung ensure administrative efficiency doon sa process flow ng college, ng paperworks para mas mabilis. So yan lang po. Thank you.
Okay. Sir, here's a question from Prof. Emma Bayogan. Are you going to put on hold your plan to go for a sabbatical?
Actually, thank you ma'am for that question. So actually, naputol na talaga ito. Dapat mag-sabbatical ako this year. So to be able to concentrate on my research project. But there is really a pressing demand that kasi nga walang tumatakbo ng Dean for the College of Science and Math. And then napaka pangit naman tingnan na parang wala man lang Dean na gusto parang ganon. So hindi siya magandang pangitain na ayaw mag-sacrifice ng someone to be able to to do the administrative work, the heavy work as you mentioned in the criteria ng college. And since many of the faculty of the college are in their peak of career, so para bang someone has to admit or to tanggapin itong challenge na to. Kasi paano natin matutulungan yung ating college? So, ang kailangan ko lang talagang gawin ay to be able for me to answer that question, yes, ma-move na talaga. Sa sabbatical na lang ako after the one term ng Dean to be able to catch up pa rin sa aking mga research activities. So, yun ang kailangan na, yun yung tawag nito. Mahirap, but kailangan meron talaga kasing gagawa nun. So for me to help the other faculty, hopefully, so ako yung itong activity na to, and then position na to para they can, nasa peak sila ng career nila eh. So sayang naman na, because maraming talagang good leaders sa CSM. It's just so happen that they really have to weigh yung career nila also our admin duties. And then, kasi kahit anong gawin mo, mababawasan talaga yung Pero, ano ba ako ngayon? Professor 8 ako ngayon. Malayo. Ang aim ko actually is to reach the Professor 12. Then, pag may call ng promotion for next year, I think I qualified na to apply. So, yun lang. And then, I also plan na yung magiging Professor Emeritus ng university. Well, hopefully, I can I can qualify for that particular position. So, wala kasi akong ibang alam gawin kundi mag-research. So, yun yung para meron akong kabisihan kung ako ay mag-retire na. Pero yun meron lang talaga sacrifices na kailangan gawin. And then, akuin ko na lang yon para mag-move forward yung college. And as I mentioned, para ma-accomplish namin yung anong gusto namin mangyari for the college. So, one has to do that. Hindi naman ako superhero, pero lang. Yun lang yung aking pananaw. Late din kasi ako nagiging PhD. I finished my PhD just like 2012. My diploma in 2012. And then, so it's just 10 years pa lang, and then ito pala yung aking na-achieve as a researcher in a university like UP Mindanao. So, yun. Feeling ko hindi naman ako dehado, so I have lots of publications naman, and then mataas naman yung aking H-index. Pero nga lang, yun yung realidad ng buhay. But I already accepted this challenge, and then I just hope that people will support me so I can also provide a get back, para bang palitan lang ng mga kung anong hihingi ng college para magiging known ang college to particular So yun din yung gagawin nila. And then ang naka-advantage lang dito is whatever effort they're going to do is naka-embodied lahat yon sa promotions. So the more nagsisipag ang faculty na magkaroon ng projects and publications, then meron na silang project, may publication na sila, then po-promote pa sila. So, yun na lahat. Nandun na lahat actually. Ang kailangan lang magawan talaga ng give them a particular space ba? Ano ba tawag dyan? Or something like that for them to excel, to achieve more in their respective fields. So para bang yung pinanood ko na-attend ko na workshop in the system. So rather than competition is, ang term na ginagamit is competition. So ini-encourage ko rin ang college na mag-work, which is ginagawa naman din ngayon with the other colleges and departments in the CU, yun, para yun, sabay-sabay tayo lahat nag-move forward. So yun yung mga strategies. So hopefully yun. So may plan to sabbatical after the term ng din. Di naman pwede kasi putulin ang term ng din. So yun, doon na lang.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you po. Here's another question. How will you lobby for the college to get more items for teaching and non-teaching personnel?
I think with the position as dean, so meron ka ng tawag nito, karapatan, as you mentioned earlier, that ito yung isa sa mga responsibilities ng dean. Kasi parang ang hirap din mag-lobby kung ikaw ay hindi ka isa sa mga the organic na tawag nito position. Dapat kasi once we lobby a particular item or request for item, dapat meron din tayong pinaghahawakan na position, and that's the position of the dean. So yun, kailangan, as I noticed also, observe brother, sa paggamit ng item, pagkula na pag-attain ng item, is dapat meron ka ring bala. So for example, yun, mapakita ng CSM, which is presently gano'n naman, ang daming research output, publication, etc. and so on. And then for us to be able to maintain that or improve more of it, so kailangan natin ng mga items. And then there are already several ways to do that. Katulad din mga balik scientist program, and balik PhD program pala. I hope kung nag-exist pa yon na maka-encourage tayo noon. And then aside from that, really is yun, maghahanap ng someone or ng congressman ba o para maka-push for the additional lobbying ng items. Ang mahirap na sa atin ngayon kasi ay yung we are being treated as one UP. So mahirap yung kanya-kanya ng effort. But if the system will allow us to do that, then we're going to do it. But for the system naman aside is, yung mga narinig ko, yun talaga, makakuha tayo ng items if we have new programs, new graduate programs. So siyempre, kung may program ka, dapat meron kang faculty. Pero nagiging chicken and egg din ito kasi nga, ang clamor ay kailangan na kaagad magkaroon ng tawag nito, mauna dapat yung program bago yung commitment ng faculty to the program bago yung item. So yun ang nangyari. But ito din yung sinasabi ng former chancellor natin, si Dr. Digal, at saka including the present chancellor. Ito nga yung way to be able to get items. So meron na ginagawa ngayon ang Department of Math and Physics and Computer Science on that. Meron silang 2 programs. So magka-increase yon for their part. And then wino-work on na ngayon ng Department ng Bio yung graduate program. And then kailangan i-enhance yung program din ng food and food science. So yun yung way talaga for us to get items is to have new programs. and that will take time, but ang pinaka easy na sinasabi ng system ay kailangan lang na igawin na yung proposal. As long as nandiyan proposal, then lobbying na lang ang kailangan to push this. So I think as dean of the college, then I have this status na pwede akong mag-lobby in relation to these particular items ng college o ng department. So yun po yung strategy doon. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Now, here's another question. We noticed that the mini botanical garden for teaching and research in CSM has been moved many times with the goal of improving teaching and research. Will the mini botanical garden finally be given its permanent space beside the CSM building? And how does this facility fit into the UP Min Campus Botanical Garden plan?
Okay. Ito ang status niyan. So yung botanical garden actually ng bio ay dati nandyan yan sa adjacent ng dorm. Okay? Kasi at that time, hindi natin pwedeng hawakan or i-touch physically yung area at the back of the CSM, yun. Kasi may nag-claim yan. And then, at the back of the CSM, at the facing CSM, at the left side of the CSM. So, nung sinimulang gawin niyang road construction dyan sa likod for the sports complex, I was then the Department of the Bio. So, ang ginawa natin ay in-invade natin yung area na yan. So, pinalipat ko dyan yung botanical garden sa left side. O facing the CSM sa left side, which is yun niya yung binabanggit nila na na-boom. And then yung front din is pinalagyan ko ng bakod, and then inusog ko yung bakod. Ang bakod niya dati ay parang perpendicular sa likod ng CSM. Then minove ko towards the right end ng CSM, and then we're looking at the reaction of the people. So walang nag-react. Then I asked the people of the department, yung mga utilities na isagarin towards the end yung location na yan, to the leftmost. And then umatras kami a bit kasi meron ng yung mga nag-try to maglinis ay sinalubong na ng mga itak. So that's the way that we are able to sort of conquer that particular area. So yung structure dyan na itinayo, that is actually temporarily na ang na-move kasi dyan is yung greenhouse. So temporarily at the time para lang magkaroon ng mga structures in that area para malaman ng community that we are already claiming that particular area. So nung nagkaroon ng money in relation sa pagtayo ng itong tinatawag nating infectious disease lab. And then, siyempre, may mandate si former president. So, hindi naman necessarily mag-bow tayo sa kanya, but to have a harmonious decision. So, ako yung nag-decide that, well, in the absence of that time kasi I was attending the meeting with PDLC that time. So, and then there's a need to decide immediately where to put the infectious disease lab. And it's very ideal that this lab would be adjacent to the existing PGC laboratory because they're going to share equipment. So, kaya yon, if someone is going to blame, I will be the one to be blamed for that, na pinausog ko yung it's just because based on my reasoning, that's the most ideal situation na mailagay yung also the ideal situation may tayo yung that infectious disease lab. And then sayang naman din kasi yung pera na yon It's a 25M structure. So as mentioned nga, kanina binanggit na maghanap ng funds. So ito dumating na lang sa UP Mindanao itong funds na to, and then sayang naman kasi i-reject na wala siyang mapapatayuan. Yung idea din kasi ni PDLC, which as I agree with him, is to have an organized structure, physical structure, like malalaking building na hindi pwedeng sirain kaagad-agad, para naman may harmony yung mga buildings sa CSM, within the CSM compound or within the UP Mindanao compound. Yan yung nangyari. So then so kailangan lang mag-move actually ng 5 meters. So kaya yon, so pinamove na lang natin ng 5 meters. And then yung money to construct that, I got it from my previous project, which we already purchased some of the materials kasi nga I have a plan to extend the zoo lab para mas lumaki yung space, and then to have an open space, yung likod niya na canopy for the use of the students. Kasi we have this subject in the laboratory na anatomy, and then the students are exposed to formalin because that's the way we preserve the animal. So kailangan talaga siya ng open space, yung may flow through yung hangin. Kaya ganun yung plan. And then luckily I got this project approved from the Picard, yung institution building. So I got this 5 million, and then half of it I dedicated to improve the present zoo lab. Ang problema lang ngayon ay hindi pa natatapos yung pero kukulitin ko kailangan yung CPDO on this. So nandiyan na yung pera since last year. So more than a year na siya. So para matayo yan. And then tinayo din yung lab na yon to the premise that ang sabi ni PDLC ay, so I will approve this as long as that in the future, if there are something mas malaking structure na kailangan itayo on that particular space, ay willing kayong i-vacate yung place kasi to give way nga sa isang mas malaking structure. Yes sir, ano lang naman din ito sir, canopy. In the meantime, na wala pa yung structure na yun, if ever, then at least merong magagamit yung mga students. So yun, so kaya that got approved. Kasi yung plan nila ay to have this, may iwasan yung nangyari ngayon sa UP Diliman na through time, naubusan na sila ng space kasi karamihan ng building ay pahaba. So that is the reason why that we are being encouraged to build buildings na pataas, pataas yung structure rather than pa-landscape, pahaba para makasave na ng space. So that is one way of making the UP Mindanao or the College of Science a green campus kasi nga less yung i-occupy na space for the structure. Hindi naman necessarily na na-move yung botanical garden. It is already a violation of the greenhouse something. Kasi although malaking effort na rin yung nagagawa doon, pero meron din kasing yun, yung itatayo naman din doon kasi actually is for the Department of Biology. So yun. So dapat lang para give and take lang yung department. So yun yung situation doon sa And then may mga series of consultation actually in relation to the Green University. And then meron na tayong inumpisahan diyan. Just this, I think within this month, magpapalabas ang UP or the Office of Research ng calendar na ang mga images ay flora ng UP campus. And then susundan niya ng fauna ng UP campus din. And then meron na ring itinatayong or pagkaalam ko para mag-biodiversity center ng UP Mindanao. Ito yung area na wala talagang any development. It's just i-declare yung area as biodiversity ground para talagang ma-declare na ever di talaga siya pwedeng tayuan ng structure. So, yung itinayo sa excuse me, yung itinayo doon sa makulit, doon sa tabi ng CSM, hindi naman yun, I think, violation ng grid campus na concept. It's just na nailipat lang kaunti yon. So yun lang yun naman ang kailangan siguro i-contextualize what is meaning by the green campus. That is also the reason why I emphasized earlier na kailangan yung department o yung college magkaroon ng proper disposal of the biological and chemical waste to attain a green campus. So yun yung mga nakatahi-tahing activities in relation to the green campus ng UP Mindanao. So thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Next question. How would you handle your position as dean while having research projects? This may affect your role as dean since you have to be present in the office most of the time.
I think I was able to, well, mas malaki yung role ng dean, but it will only pagkaroon na smoothen yung flow sa dean's office. So magkakaroon naman yan din ng tawag nito, hindi na kailangan ng tutukan ng maayos. Kasi ang importante dyan is if all the departments are really working together. Kasi nasa department yung pinaka-heavy na job eh. And as mentioned earlier kanina, yung trabaho ng dean is on the how to make this department move forward. So like yung mga lobbying, etc. So it can be done. Kaya nga sabi ko kanina, it's well, mayroong sacrifice talaga na mangyari, but I will not also stop from doing proposals in relation to na magkaroon ng project. So yan yun. So may kailangan mga adjustments and then magagawa din naman actually yun. So it's not necessarily that being an administrator ay hindi mo na magampanan being a researcher. Siguro kung mga positions mo ay mga vice chancellor or chancellor, baka mahirap yon. Pero as the dean, meron din naman akong units to teach. And then aside from that, kasi kailangan talaga natin magkaroon ng napaka-ineffective mo naman na din kung ma-deprive yung iyong research output. Kasi naman ay dapat if the departments are really working hand in hand with the dean's office, then magkakaroon naman ng smooth na flow, na transition. So we really need to establish policies na maayos. Ang nagbabag down actually sa dean's office na paperwork ay based from the projects. Kasi kung personnel lang yung pag-uusapan, kakaunti lang yung personnel ng organic personnel ng CSM. Pero ang pinakamadugo ay ang paperwork from the different projects. So what I intend to do is to have that particular project outputs mag-smoothen yung flow. Di ko pa alam kung ano yung process, yung legality nito, but I want to create the RDE of the college as a unit rather than just a committee. So to provide project staff, which is paid for by the admin overhead of the CSM. So in that way, merong focus ng tracking ng mga particular papers. And then we're going also to work with the OR kasi yung OR ngayon, particularly yung aspect ng OR itself kasi ang daming units sa OR eh. Nandiyan yung publication, which is the BANWA, nandiyan din yung REC, nandiyan din yung but yung organic ng OR is sila yung in charge sa database. And then they have right now an API project to be able to have that program na ma-sustain yung tracking. So I will ask the OR na mag-work na rin directly with the CSM, yung sa staff na yon, para ang mangyari ay yung paper documentation ng OR ay mabilis na, kasi para bang ipapass on na lang from the RDE unit to the OR and vice versa, para hindi magkaroon ng ano. Yun lang naman yung pinaka ano. And then if I'm going to do field work, then meron naman din tinatawag na OIC. And then at the same time, because of the pandemic, yung nangyaring na, so hindi ka pa rin cut off kahit nag-field work ka from the mga activities ng college, kasi ang ibang communications naman ay done being through email. So yun, pwede lang overtime lang talaga ng work sa gabi or some other time, but yun yung mga pwedeng gawin to. Yun lang kasi yung isang katotak ng project doon sa ano. Hindi ako mangala, actually ini-encourage ko nga yun, but for them to help them na ano yung flow is yung mag-create talaga ng parang mini RDE ang college. Na unit na talaga siya para yun yung doon lahat babagsak yung mga task na para maiwasan yung ano. Yun kasi yung ano and then if that is approved na, and we have to have this particular policy that for some of the documents na hindi naman kailangan ng physical signature, then pwede na yung e-signature ng dean will do. So yun. So ibig sabihin, kahit na mag-field work ako, so I can still approve mga documents in relation to that. And then meron din namang OIC for that matter. So yun yung mga strategies. Kailangan lang talaga ng cooperation ng buong CSM, so to smoothen all of the flow and not to deprive a single faculty, whether may admin position siya wala, in terms of doing research work. Kasi yun naman yung talaga yung ating role as a faculty. So yun yung reply to that particular question.
Okay, thank you, sir. We have four more questions before we end the Q&A. Now, here's a question still related to space. The question is, magkakaroon na ng influx ng students this coming semester at may mga research projects din na ongoing at magsisimula. And we know we have a very limited space. Any immediate solution for this po, especially sa laboratory spaces?
That is actually a very tough question. So, ito pa lang ang semester na to, we already practice the face-to-face for the laboratories. So, sa bio department pa lang, chaos na. So, how much more doon sa pagkatala. So, yun ang kailangan talagang mapag-agrihan ng college as one o as university o CU as a whole, that meron tayong mga blended mode of learnings na kung pwede yun ang gawin para naman at the same time to prevent the spread of the pandemic. I was just hoping that whatever is happening right now in China will not reach Philippines. Kasi nga, ang trend ay baka abot yan sa atin na mga during the August period kasi yung ating peak. Pero nga, Vince, weird na yung weather ngayon na puro rainy days. Anyways, yun yung isa sa mga ways to be able to reduce the activity ng college. And then, yung isa ko pang naisip while I was contemplating this particular position, kung pwede mag-hold na mga discussions, mga lectures outside the building. Let's say, I will ask ano ba yung ginagawa ng ating mga elementary schools na ang klase nila ay nasa stadium or nasa bench ng So I'll try to request na kung pwede ba magkaroon ng discussion doon sa sports complex yung sa mga stairs na yung mga upuan doon, ang dami namang space doon. So I think pwede yung kung discussion na kailanganin, doon sila magkaklase. So para bang para hindi magkaroon ng overcrowding. So depende yung sa topic ng mga students. Kung may mga recitations, baka doon magklase. Well, naisip ko lang yun, pero I need also the approval of the Department of Human Kinetics on this. Yun, and then yun, i-encourage yung ganong type ng discussion na nag-move around sila in the campus together, pero not necessarily na doon sila sa classroom, four corners of the classrooms. Because some of the topics can be through discussion or reporting on that matter. And then, yun, so mag-provide din ng maayos na, well, sa CSM, parking space as well as yung mga kiosk na open na for some of the group activities is going to happen outside of the building. So yun yung mga naisip ko na na way para to decongest the volume ng students sa CSM. Lalong-lalo na kasi mas maganda pa rin yung nagmi-meet at least once in every 2 weeks or once a week yung mga lecture classes for the discussion purposes. Kasi doon naman nakikita natin yung learning talaga eh. Meron kasing kahirapan ito pag ginagawa ito via Zoom kasi yun, hindi na-encourage yung pag-recite ng mga students kasi nga madali mag-reason out na poor yung internet connectivity, etc. and so on. But kung para tayong in a small group na nagkakaroon ng klase, then discussion, then mapapilitan yung mga students to recite. And then also kasi yung mga estudyante natin hesitant mag-present sa Zoom kasi nga naka-recording. So ayaw na silang ma-quote or something ganyan. So pero iba rin yung kung nagdi-discussion kayo na openly na yon, matandaan na lang pero walang recording na nangyari. So mas na-encourage yung student to participate in a discussion. So yun yung mga ways, yung pwedeng ma-adapt na mga yung hindi kailangan na or pwedeng gawin outside of the four corners of the room. So yun. And then in relation to wellness din, I highly encourage na yung mga na makagamit tayo ng sports complex from 4:30 to 6 something o 5:30 na kasi pwede din naman gawin ang department meeting or any group meeting na naglalakad kayo doon sa oval. So at the same time, you're doing an exercise para makamit tayo ng 10,000 steps a day. Kasi yun eh, yung 10,000 steps, I think mga 1 hour yun na continuous walking. So yun, so kung mag-stroll ka lang din doon, but at the same time, doing discussions, plans, etc. and so on. Yun, I think, kailangan talaga ng mga paraan. I think yung college ay marami pang ideas in relation to this. Mag-uusap kami for this kind of activity and we'll coordinate with the deep sectors of the CU kung kailangan ba ng permission to use this and that. Yeah. Yan po. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So let me first ask this question kasi related din siya sa building. No? The question is, can you assure us po that there will be no more problems regarding ceiling water leaks in CSM? Ceiling water leaks.
Okay. So yung nagiging situation naman sa CSM, yung nag-leak yung ceiling, it's mainly because that is already an old building. And then, hindi lang talaga siguro napansin yung mga drainage. So, unfortunately, nag-clog na pala yung mga drainage. So, isa sa kailangan pwedeng gawin ay to inventory yung mga drainage at yung roofing itself ng CSM. So, kailangan yung malagyan ba ng bulka seal or anything na and then i-clear lahat ng drainage. If there's a need na magkaroon ng drainage, ay mag-construct ng drainage. Pwede namang ibato yan doon sa likod ng CSM para hindi naman para maiwasan yung yung pagbaha sa harap. And then pwede namang gumawa ng isang water storage in that area for gagamitin for watering the plants, etc. Pero yun lang, kailangan talagang i-check lahat ng mga. Ang mahirap kasi is hindi ko alam kung nasaan na yung master plan ng CSM building, kung saan naka-indicate lahat ng drainage. But it can easily be located kung ikaw ay nandun sa rooftop at titingnan mo talaga lahat ng drainage kasi meron naman yung design for that. So yun yung reason kung bakit nagkaroon ng overflow is hindi na nag-clog yung lower portion, then obviously nag-accumulate yung tubig sa taas. So yun.
Okay, sir. So here's the second to the last question. Ano naman po ang plano ninyo para ma-improve ang kalagayan ng mga CSM staff, lalo na yung mga matagal nang naghihintay maging regular?
Okay. So, sorry, I'm reading messages sa phone kasi nga meron actually defense schedule yung isa kong MS student sa UP Diliman at the same time ng ating presentation. So, yung sa just like the status of the faculty. So ganun din magmamalimos sa UP system or other CUs na kung ano yung mga items kahit mababa lang doon sa kanila para lang magkaroon ng ng mga regularity yung ibang mga But ang process kasi nito, once na makuha natin mga small items, pwede naman ito ma-upgrade to a higher item during the promotion ng mga staff. Yun ang pagkakaalam ko. But that will undergo sa budget ng government. Medyo matagal pero I think retroactive naman ata yun. So yun lang talaga ang isa sa mga ways. Kasi this particular problem have been a problem of this CU ever since. But yun nga lang siguro kailangan lang aggressively. So gagamitin ko yung position ko as the dean, mag-lobby doon sa ibang CUs like sa Diliman. Well, doon kasi ako nagaling so may kilala ko doon. So yun, para magkaroon ng mga items na hindi nila kakailanganin. So yun yung mga isang ways to do that. So yun, aggressively kailangan talagang gawin yun. At the same time is, yun nga, mag-lobby for the Congress yun, to support UP Mindanao.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, so here's the final question. Thank you po, Professor Ting, for accepting the challenge. What support do you expect from the CSM faculty from all its 3 departments?
Ang maganda lang sa CSM, nag-work naman yung mga 3 departments. So, wala nang problema doon. So, ang kailangan lang talaga is, as a dean, is kailangan ma-harmonize itong mga activities nilang lahat. So, para ang college ay mag-move forward at the same time. So, in short, since may mga execo meeting naman kami, so kailangan mapag-usapan doon yung mga plans. As I mentioned earlier, that it should be a competition, cooperation, and competition at the same time ng bawat department para magkaroon ng harmony. And then the college will also try to kumbaga yung mga chances kasi ng pera na makuha namin through API, yung ma-harmonize yung mga API para naman ay yun, ma-maximize yung use ng funds. So yun. And then ano pa bang cooperation is kailangan lang talaga ng respect to one another. And then we have to base our decision lalong-lalo na administratively kung ito ay supported by legal matters o ito yung existing policy. If the policy needs to be revised or improved, then we need to improve that para yun, magkaroon ng harmony. Kasi yung approval naman ng mga policies ay ginagawa within the college. So para hindi magkaroon ng iba-ibang decision every time na brought up itong particular issue and so on and so forth. And I sorry. And I think the college has enough experiences on that. So para ma-straighten na yung mga policy on that particular aspect. So ma-approve at the dean's level and then at the CU level para straightforward na lahat. Oh, we have a policy on that. So ganyan. Okay. So yun po ang isa sa mga ways. But again, before I will end, I will really ask also mga tawag nito inputs from the different departments coming from the faculty of the various department of each of the departments. So gano'n naman. Kaya nga dahil yun, competition tayo ang gagawin. So we can achieve more or aim high.
Okay. So that ends the Q&A portion of our public forum. Thank you very much, Sir Ting, for answering the questions from the attendees. And let me echo Professor Vladi Kobayashi's message. Thank you, most of all, for accepting the challenge and the call. This has been a very productive and informative discussion. No? But before we end this public forum, we would like to express our sincere gratitude to the units who have assisted us throughout the search process. The PRO team with Sir Rene Estremera and yes, Ocampo, the ITO with Prof. Arma Santina, Jen Navarrete and Laverne, Dries, the CSM faculty, and personnel and students, of course, no. Let me make a special mention of Professor Z. Diamante and most especially Prof. Chimi Gamot. Daghan kaayong salamat. Now, the next 2 days are allotted for the consultations with the different sectors, no, with the search committee. So tomorrow, January 10, that's Tuesday, from 9 to 11 a.m., we shall have the consultation with the CSM faculty. And in the afternoon, from 1 to 3, the consultation with the CSM students. And on Wednesday, January 11, from 10 to 11 again, we shall have the consultations with the CSM reps and administrative personnel. And in the afternoon, with the other stakeholders. So the Zoom links for each consultation are available on the PubMats now and sent to you via email. Thank you once again, everyone. Thank you so much for making time to attend and participate in this public forum. We now formally end this gathering with UP Naming Mahal. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Jen, and to all
you,
of those
sir. Thank you.
present in this particular activity. Thank you.
Thank you.
Tayo po ay magsitayo bilang pagpupugay at awitin ang UP Naming Mahal.